Intro calm but dramatic tone, y'all. It feels like every time things start to quiet down in hip-hop, someone lights a match and the whole internet goes up in flames again. This time, the storm centers around Cardi B, Offset, Saweetie, and even Nicki Minaj, four huge names, all tangled in a web of old tension, loyalty, and public shade. What started as a few slick comments online has now grown into one of the most talked about feuds of the year. And honestly, the way it's unfolded says a lot about how fast things can spiral in the world of fame. So, let's walk through how this entire situation exploded, from subtle social media shade to public jabs, old rumors being dragged back into the spotlight, and everyone picking sides. Chapter 1. The spark that started it all began when Saweetie threw what seemed like a harmless jab about album sales. But in the music industry, harmless rarely stays that way. She made a comment that seemed to highlight Cardi B's numbers, pointing out that even with all the buzz, her new project didn't outsell Nicki Minaj. To some, it was just another post. But to fans, especially those who've watched the long, messy history between Cardi and Nicki, it felt like a loaded shot. And once Saweetie made it clear that she was riding with Nicki, that was enough to get social media buzzing. Within hours, fans started picking sides. Hashtags started trending. And that's when Cardi, who never backs down from a challenge, decided to respond not with silence, but with full energy. Chapter 2. The tension deepens now. Cardi's reaction wasn't just another clapback. It was sharp, personal, and emotional. For her, this wasn't only about numbers or shade, it was about respect. She felt betrayed. After years of trying to keep her distance from unnecessary beefs, this hit close to home because it touched something deeper: her marriage, her loyalty, and her public image. At that time, things between her and Offset were already tense. The couple had faced their share of ups and downs, and fans knew that their relationship wasn't exactly peaceful. So, when rumors began circulating that Offset and Saweetie might have had a past connection, it added fuel to an already blazing fire. At first, Cardi brushed it off. She'd heard it all before: gossip, half-truths, and online whispers. But when Saweetie appeared to throw shade again, right when Cardi was already feuding with Nicki on social media, it felt too personal to ignore. Chapter 3. The post that shook things up. One of the biggest moments in this feud came when Saweetie posted and quickly deleted a photo on Instagram that fans swear looked like Offset. The caption read something simple but suggestive: "Post-fight night." The internet exploded. Screenshots spread everywhere before she could take it down, and fans immediately started connecting dots. Some said it was an old photo of her in Quavo, but the timing was suspicious. It came right in the middle of Cardi and Nicki's latest Twitter spat, which made people think it was more than coincidence. Whether intentional or not, Saweetie's post made her part of the chaos. And once Cardi caught wind of it, things only got messier. Chapter 4. Cardi strikes back. Cardi responded in classic Cardi fashion: direct and unapologetic. She fired off tweets that seemed to be aimed straight at Saweetie. One of them read, "You must have missed me, huh? Crazy. Now kiss my feet." It was confident, sharp, and undeniably personal. She also amplified a fan's post that criticized Saweetie's music career, saying, "Tell her make a hit. She in the studio just wasting time." Fans knew exactly what Cardi was doing. She was reclaiming the narrative and making it clear she wasn't about to let anyone play with her name. But things didn't stop there. Behind the scenes, people started whispering about something bigger: that Cardi was finally ready to talk about what really caused Migos to fall apart. Chapter 5. The Migos fallout and loyalty question. When Migos broke up, it shocked fans everywhere. For years, Offset, Quavo, and Takeoff had been brothers in music, unstoppable as a trio. So when they split, people demanded answers. Quavo had hinted several times that the fallout wasn't about money or contracts, it was about loyalty. In one interview, Quavo said, "We stand on loyalty. Sometimes that ain't displayed." It was a simple statement but carried a lot of weight. Fans immediately started connecting it to the rumors that Offset had crossed personal lines, not just business ones. Takeoff, who always tried to stay neutral, said, "Only time will tell. We still family." Sadly, his passing later made those words even more emotional, as fans reflected on what might have been. But even back then, people could feel the tension. Something had broken between them that couldn't easily be fixed. Chapter 6. The remix controversy now. Fast forward a bit. Around 2022, Saweetie was supposed to appear on the remix of Fenf alongside Glorilla, Latto, and JT. The song was buzzing, hyped up to be one of the biggest collabs of the summer. Saweetie had already recorded her verse, and everything seemed set until suddenly, she was cut from the track. No explanation. No warning, just gone. Fans were confused. Why was she removed when there didn't seem to be any bad blood between her and Glorilla? Then, not long after, Cardi B appeared on Tomorrow 2 with Glorilla. That timing didn't go unnoticed. Fans immediately started connecting the dots, believing Cardi might have used her influence to edge Saweetie out of the project. Whether true or not, the industry buzzed with talk of behind-the-scenes moves and quiet payback. Chapter 7. Fans connect the dots. Once the speculation began, the internet ran wild. One fan wrote, "So the reason Saweetie was cut from Fenf is because she slept with Offset, and Cardi knew. Cardi made sure she couldn't stay on the track." Another added, "Who's stopping bags now?" A not-so-subtle reference to Cardi's old feud with Nicki Minaj, where similar accusations were thrown around. Of course, Cardi never confirmed any of this. But her timing, her posts, and the sudden shift in collaborations made people believe something was definitely going on behind the scenes. Chapter 8. Quavo and the Drink Champs moment. Things took another turn when Quavo and Takeoff appeared on Drink Champs. When they were asked to pick between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, both of them chose Nicki. It seemed like a small moment of preference. But given all the tension in the air, it felt like another subtle dig. Cardi's fans took it personally. They saw it as another sign that the divide between her and the Migos camp had deepened and that old wounds were still wide open. Even Nicki jumped in on social media, throwing shade at Quavo, saying, "Was it worth it, dummy? Remember when you told me you were the Bianca of the group?" It was pure chaos, a mix of old resentment and new jabs, all playing out in real time for the world to see. Chapter 9. Saweetie's subtle shade and Cardi's reaction. Meanwhile, Saweetie didn't exactly back down. Known for keeping things classy but never missing a moment, she dropped a few subtle digs of her own. When photos of Cardi from a red carpet event went viral for being unflattering, the internet was quick to mock her looks and accuse her of heavy editing. Nicki added fuel to the fire with tweets like "clock that tea" and "Photoshop them bars," which fans took as direct shots at Cardi. Then Saweetie joined in the conversation by posting her own unedited photos with the caption, "She don't need no edits." The timing was deliberate. It came right when Cardi was already under heavy criticism. Fans immediately understood the message. Saweetie was sending a clear, subtle jab, and she did it with a smile. Cardi noticed. She posted, "I'm not as mean as I could be, and people should be more grateful for that." It was restrained but sharp. The kind of statement that carried warning energy beneath the surface. Chapter 10. The bigger picture. By now, this wasn't just a petty exchange. It had become a full-blown saga, a tangled mix of personal hurt, career politics, and public perception. What started as a comment about music sales turned into a story about loyalty, betrayal, and the blurred lines between personal and professional life. Offset, as always, found himself right in the middle. Quavo and Takeoff's loyalty leaned one way, Cardi's frustration pulled another, and Saweetie's quiet confidence kept fans guessing. Meanwhile, Nicki's presence only added gasoline to the fire, with her fans the barbs clashing online with Cardi's supporters. Chapter 11. Where things stand now. Today, the tension still lingers. While nobody's gone fully public with new accusations, the energy between these camps is far from calm. Cardi's focusing on her career and motherhood. Saweetie's continuing to release music and focus on her brand. Nicki's staying vocal and unbothered as always, but fans haven't forgotten. Every tweet, every post, every interview is analyzed, waiting for the next spark. Because in this world, the world of fame, music, and ego drama doesn't really end. It just quiets down, waiting for its next chapter. Closing narration. Calm, reflective tone. What we've seen play out between Cardi B, Offset, Saweetie, and Nicki Minaj isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a reminder of how fragile trust can be when the whole world is watching. One comment, one post, one photo, and suddenly, personal relationships turn into public battlegrounds. And while fans love the spectacle, behind all the tweets and headlines are real people, real emotions, and real consequences.